Hello everyone, my name is David. Thank you for joining me today for Monday's Q&As. I do this every single Monday, and what I'm doing is I'm answering questions from the last question and answer video from last Monday. So any questions you have today, please go down below, ask me anything you want, and I'll answer them in the next question and answer video next Monday. I want to welcome new subscribers. Thank you very much for joining the channel. I hope you ask me anything you want, take advantage of information out there. If you respect my opinion. What else here? I always make a recommendation every week. This week I would like to recommend not just a book, but a person. I like this person, Daniel B. Grossman, an MFT, which is a licensed marriage and family therapist. Received her BA in Ethics, Politics, and Economics from Yale University and her MA in Integral Counseling Psychology from the California Institute of Integral Studies. She works in private practice in Truckee, California. And don't know why I can't. So she wrote a book that seems really interesting, and it's on my list. I'm definitely going to read this one. I can't read everything I recommend to you guys, but this one I'm going to. The book is called Love Is Not Enough for a Healthy Marriage. And I chose this because you guys are so, want to know if your ex loved you, really loved you, and stuff like this. And I understand why. But also know that that's not enough for a healthy relationship. Love gets you on the road to a healthy marriage. It can get and keep you in the game and help to keep you on the road. Love is not enough, however, to play the game well. Love is not enough to get you where you want to go. Love is not enough for a healthy marriage. So I think it's pretty interesting. I think it would really benefit you guys to know what a healthy marriage consists of, not only so that you can have healthy relationships in your future, even if you're like, no, I'm never dating again. Something like this will help you understand what went wrong and why that relationship will never work, why the relationships that your ex will continue to have will never work. I think that could be very validating for you guys, and along the way you get to learn what a healthy marriage is. Okay, so let's get started with the first question from Maria in Canada. Hello, Maria. Hi, David. Love this Q&A. Thank you. Question: why does the narc not post pics or even mentions his life on social media? So why would your ex not post pics or mention his life on social media? Well, that's a very general question. I mean, a lot of people don't. So maybe you're asking me why he stopped. Maybe he used to and now he doesn't after your relationship is over. A lot of disordered people can be very, very private, can't they? They show us what they want us to think and don't want us to really know who they are. So maybe that's it. Maybe he wants to look available. Maybe he doesn't want you to see what he's doing. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want you to see what he's doing so he can come back. Go back and get back to you whenever he feels like it. I wouldn't know, Marie. I'm sorry. Maybe if you give me more information, you can ask me again. Thanks. And that's another thing. If I misunderstand your question or I miss questions, that happens, or you don't understand what I'm saying, just ask me again, please. Please. I'm doing this so that you guys can learn and learn and learn. So don't be afraid to ask me a repetitive question or something you didn't understand, stuff like that, okay? And if I miss your question, I'm not doing it on purpose. I want to answer everyone's questions, at least acknowledge you, okay? So ask me again. Thanks. Oh, and all I ask for is give your locations, please. You guys ask me a question, just tell us where you are. That's all I ask. Give us a general location where you're at, because myself and other people that watch this, a lot of us like to know where you are from, because we like to see how far narcissism reaches, how much this abuse affects everyone in the world, and not just you, not just me. Okay, so just tell us where you are, please, guys. Shell from Chicago. Hello, Shell. Hi, David. What's a malignant narcissist? Aren't all narcissists malignant anyway? Well, I'll never say all, okay? We can't do that ever. There's probably not narcissists that are malignant somewhere, But yeah, generally, narcissists are exploitative. So they exploit you. Malignant. Deadly. right? A lot of people call narcissists parasites, but a parasite feeds off their host and keeps them alive. Yeah, they try to destroy you. There is no partnership in a relationship with a narcissist. It has to be all about them, and they don't understand that you guys are together and that you guys are there to help each other become better people and all this stuff. You're there for him or her, and that's it. That's it. And everything that you want, you're not going to get, but you're going to keep trying. Hope that makes sense. I think most narcissists would be malignant. Yeah. I think most narcissists are exploitative. They exploit people for what they want and need. Hope that helps. Thank you, Shell. Misty from Connecticut. My question is, and I know I've been asking you stuff every week for about a month or so. Good. Keep asking. My question is, how do you get a restraining order without having a place to have paper served? Every week it's something. His new supply works with me, and he got fired from the job I got him. He still goes to my workplace that I feel is like family to me, except her, of course. And I don't want to look like a victim by going to anyone. He shouldn't be allowed back since he threatened 2 people who work there. Myself and my son's best friend. I'm not sure of the reason he got fired, but it was 2 days after the cops went to talk to him about me. He leaves notes on my car. I do believe he got into my Instagram, but I found the email pretty quick and changed my password so nothing was done that I noticed yet. Anyway, there's so much more, but it's all crazy. I don't think of it all at once. I've never been through anything of the sort in my life. So any clue? I do have his new supplies license plate number. Not sure. So your question is, how do you serve someone papers if you don't know where they live? Yeah, it's pretty tough, isn't it? I hope you've consulted with a lawyer. You don't have to have a lawyer to file for a restraining order, but you should. You should contact a lawyer first. They will always tell you whether you can get a restraining order or not, so you don't waste your time. They can assist you on how to do that, things like that. The lawyer might be able to tell you how to find this person. A lot of lawyers have private investigators. A lot of lawyers have people that serve stuff like this for them. So see what you can do. I know that you don't want to go to anybody at your job. I'm guessing you don't want to speak to any kind of authority at your work about this problem. And this is something that I've seen a lot in this Q&A, and it's all the shame and guilt that comes after abuse and trauma. And it really messes with us. And we're all very ashamed. And typically, I'm not speaking for everyone, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of shame that comes from this. And we don't want to admit that we were used and taken advantage of, and we were fooled, and why didn't we leave? And so there's a ton. And that's why I stress self-compassion. You guys have to keep treating yourself at least as well as you treat other people. Because I can tell you the same story you have all been through, and you'll have compassion for me, but maybe not so much for yourself. Okay? You've been through hell, and you reacted as a human being. Okay? If you don't like your reaction, then you just learn from it and don't do it again. But that's life. Okay? Definitely go to someone at your work. Okay? This guy can't be stopping by your employment after how he makes you feel just to visit someone else. Okay? I think most bosses would work with you on this. Don't be emotional about it. Be very cut, clean, and quick, and just ask them. Tell them what you would like. Tell them what he makes you feel like, and you can't work with him coming around that he harasses you. Harassment is unwanted attention. That's it. So the fact that he keeps trying to contact you and stuff like this, he's not allowed to do that. He's not allowed. So you can get your boss to help you with this and make sure he doesn't come by there anymore. Gather all this evidence, because all this evidence will help you get a restraining order. As far as serving it to them, all I can tell you is I hope you find a lawyer, because that's a legal question. I don't know how else, but a lawyer will. How else to find them? But a lawyer will, okay? And I would imagine it might come down to how much money you want to spend. You might be able to find a private investigator, find them, and serve them right away. Okay? Sorry if that doesn't help more. Feel free to ask me again. Hi, David. Sharon from Tasmania. Hello, Sharon. Every time I think I've healed, it's like I get hit in the head with a shovel again, and I've had a bad day. I'm having one today and can't find a reason for it. I'm happy I've accepted what happened, and I've been building the life I want for myself, so there's no reason for this feeling of sadness I have today. It's not drastic, like it was months ago. I'm just surprised that it hits me again. When does it end? Or is it something we just have to learn to live with? Thank you. You're my favorite YouTube guidance coach, and so grateful that you're here for us. Oh, thank you, Sharon, very much. All this is normal, okay? Normal reaction. Here I am again, and so this is a definite theme. And tell yourself that. Realize this, that you're reacting like a normal human being. That's why we all are suffering from the same thing. We have the same questions, okay? My advice, make sure you understand everything that happened to you with this relationship. Don't chalk things up as just, oh, well, he's disordered, I guess, or, if you don't know, find answers, okay? You've got to understand what happened. Now, say you do. You may still be getting this stuff. This is our brain, our hypervigilance, looking for danger everywhere, okay? I'm guessing your sleep isn't great. Keep processing things. Keep writing, talking. Just keep doing it. Explore your nightmares. Explore your bad feelings. Explore your bad days. Try to find out exactly why. So you're asking me why. Most likely it's trauma related after, and our brains will see something that triggers us from the past, and our brains will get right back in that moment and believe that we're there, because your brain is so traumatized, it wants to make sure it will never be in that danger again. So it's looking for it everywhere, under every rock, behind every person. There's danger, we think, okay? Try to learn what that is. Emotional triggers. Our brains associate things, tie things together, memories, experiences. Sometimes our brain will associate an object with a painful memory of danger, fear. I've used this example before. Sometimes, for whatever reason, our brain might associate a green car, a green van, to our experience, and we'll drive down the street and see a green van. Don't understand that it's connected to that, but it makes us feel so anxious. These are normal, and just realize, like you said, that they're not happening as often. So that's good, and they will decrease. If it has been, then it should. And this doesn't go on forever. My best advice for everybody: we got to get rid of the pessimism. Absolutely. Start thinking optimistically, okay? We've got to be positive. We can't surround ourselves with negativity. Don't get involved in drama. Don't talk bad about people. Things like this. Always find something good to say about somebody if you're going to talk about somebody. No black and white thinking. Not just this or that. Every choice create tons of doorways to open, tons of options. Always find a good thing about a bad experience. I'm serious. We need to do this to get out of this, okay? Okay? But at least acknowledge that they're happening less and less. Just like nightmares. Nightmares will happen less and less, okay? Eventually it should stop. It does for me and many other people. Thanks. Charlie. Hey, David, thanks for answering the question of mine. You're welcome. I grew up in a good conservative household. My parents are still together, etc. In fact, I'm going to my brother's wedding this weekend. So it's not like I had a bad upbringing. If anything, my dad was a bit of a hard ass. We grew up Marine, military culture. Basically what he said, chores-wise, I do. And any talk back was looked bad on. And I respect that. Of course you do. That's how you grew up. I wasn't beaten or anything. I think kids need a fair level of discipline, but I was never abused in any way. At the same time, since my first relationship at 15 years old, I always felt I was the guy chasing the girl, and I was getting rejected and at the same time attracting the wrong girls. So a lot of your response made sense, but I'm still confused at figuring out that void you mentioned. It could just be the longing for a fulfilling relationship. Oh yeah, I'm from Alexandria, Virginia. 10 miles from DC. Thank you for telling us your location. Charlie, this is so common. This is so common. We can't look at our own lives with scrutiny. We can only do it from one perspective, our own. It can be much easier for someone else to do that. It can be a lot easier for all of you to look at my life from your perspective and see things that I don't see. We need different perspectives. We have to. We have to. We can't just go by our own experience all the time. So, what I found interesting here is that you say that I don't have a void because bad things didn't happen to me. I wasn't beaten or anything. What about the good things? Did those happen? Do you know what all the good things are? You know? There's a whole lot to parenting. More than just discipline. Okay? Your parents are your teachers. We watch their marriage and we learn. That's what a relationship is. We learn what love is by watching them. Your dad was a hard-ass military, stuff like this. My guess is he's not too in tune or touch with his feelings, which means he doesn't promote yours. Just a guess, okay? If we aren't in touch with our emotion, we don't know how to meet our emotional needs. You didn't give me enough information to answer why you're always chasing the girl. To go by just what you told me about your father sounds like validation. Sounds like maybe you didn't get enough of people telling you that your feelings and your opinions really matter and are worthwhile. Maybe. I guarantee you, give me a session with me, I'll find the reason. I promise. Because it's there. There is a reason. There is. And I need more information. But with some more information, I can find it. It's not that hard. It actually can be pretty easy. So, the void is from our parents. If our parents raised us with an emotional void of their own, meaning something pretty bad that happened to them, that they don't know what that was, and they feel bad about it, or something they didn't receive from their parents. And if they didn't receive it from their parents, it's really hard to teach your children, their children. If they didn't receive something, it's kind of hard to pass that along. They'd have to go learn that on their own somewhere. So there is a problem. You recognize there is a problem, and you're not sure if that's why. It may not be. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. There's not enough information. I get more information, I can find it. I always do. You know, something about your mother, too. Old Freudian, we date our opposite gender parent. So this might be more about your mother? I don't know. I don't know. Sorry I couldn't help you more, Charlie, but I need more information. But I hope what I said makes a little sense. I understand you weren't physically abused and you weren't physically neglected, but I'm guessing there's emotional neglect. That's different. Different. That's not leaving the child in the corner and not feeding them or clothing them, or that's physical. I'm talking emotional. I'm talking about really checking in with your children and how do you feel, and teach them to be in touch with their emotions and do things for themselves, and how do you deal with danger and fear and stuff like this. A lot of parents don't teach children that. A lot of parents will create that danger or fear for the children. Not good. Let's go one more question. From Rebel Till the End, from Middle Missouri. Hello. I recently see my narcissistic ex-wife in a store. I seen her, but she didn't see me, thank God. When I seen her, I had an overwhelming amount of anxiety and rage come over me. It was so bad for me that I left the store and came home. I felt horrible about myself because I thought I had pretty much healed and was doing very well. My mind seemed to shift back, and it went back to the time when she did to me. She dealt me her final discard Christmas night of 2016. I've been full no contact since that night, and I don't want her back at all. She did enjoy her pretty torments for months until the divorce was final. My house was broken into, things were stolen and got moved around, bubblegum spit in my bushes, cat came up missing. I just felt bad because I felt she still had that much power over me to make me feel bad again, even after her being gone for over 2 years. Why and what's the deal with my emotions reoccurring on the side of her is what you're saying. When people treat me bad, I kind of feel bad. People treat you bad for a long time, you're going to feel bad. That's it. That's it. And it makes us feel like bad people if we don't understand it. Okay? And you feel ashamed. Here we go again, right? This is the theme. We're ashamed. We've been abused. We've been abused by somebody that everybody else said was kind of weird, strange, not right. Get away from him. Get away from her. And we kept dating. Why? Why didn't I leave? Why did I put up with this stuff? How did I not see this? Why did I abuse them back? There's a lot. There's a lot. And I'll say it again. If I told you your story, you would have compassion for me. I bet. More than you do for yourself. If things are bothering you about this relationship, still hurts. I know you don't want her back, but we've got to understand everything and heal from it and learn from it. Okay? If you still feel really bad about the relationship, there's things you don't understand. If you feel ashamed of yourself about the relationship, there are things you don't understand. Because you're just a human being. Okay? You're just a human being. And you have emotions and feelings like one. And you reacted like one. Give yourself a break. Start to understand everything that happened. I hope you're talking, writing this stuff out. For all these bad feelings to get out more. Okay? Keep learning. It'll take time. It'll take time. Don't freak out about how long it's been. Realize your accomplishments. See how far you've come. Realize that you're doing great, and you saw her and it freaked you out. It probably won't next time as much. Less and less. Okay? You'll be okay. This is normal. That's the end of part 1, guys. If you can help me by voting, commenting, sharing, posting, stuff like this, it really helps, okay? There's a lot of people out there suffering from CPTSD, from these relationships, and it makes us isolating and suicidal, and there's people killing themselves every single day from this. Sometimes just a piece of information, the word narcissist, something like that, just like you guys, how you found it and it really helped you. There's a million people out there that need it too, okay? If you can help me make my information and other people's information bigger, that would be great. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in part 2. Bye.